Hi, hi, Avery. The girl you chose is super cool looking. I love her. To start her out, I'm going to just draw a gumdrop shape. I don't know if you know what a gumdrop is. Maybe that's like an old candy that people don't know about. But it's flat at the bottom and kind of like a dome on top. After I do a gumdrop, then I'm going to put in her head and her dress. So you can see right now I'm marking off the gumdrop shape. Of course, it's a really tall gumdrop, right? So it's like an oval with a flat part on the bottom. Now I'm sort of figuring out where I want to put her head and where I want to put her body. It looks like right now that I made her face a little larger than it should be. So if you do that too, don't worry. Later, I just add a little bit more to her body. You can also shrink her head. There's nothing wrong with that right now. So when you are doing a sketch like this, always remember that it's a sketch. What is a sketch? A sketch is a preliminary drawing. It is a beginning drawing. It's not your final drawing. So that means you don't have to worry if you erase something. You're sort of like figuring out where everything goes. You're trying on your lines, if that makes any sense. And what that does is it lets you let go of your pencil a little bit. You're not going to worry so much because you're searching. You're searching for the image you're trying to create. You're not trying to be perfect from the first mark that you make. You're acting like a sculptor. When you sculpt with Play-Doh or Sculpey or anything like that, you don't expect that the first time your finger touches it, it's perfect, right? You know that you're going to roll it up into a ball and pat it out real thin, and you're going to manipulate it. And so when you're doing your first drawing, keep it light, keep it loose. And what loose means is that it isn't a commitment, right? It's not your final drawing. It's your finding. I'll invent that right now. It's your finding drawing, your exploratory drawing. So that's what I'm doing right now. It isn't until I actually go in with my marker to ink it that I make it my permanent, better drawing. So when you do ink it, totally make it better than your original. So you'll see later that when I'm drawing in like her headband, I change the shape of it just with my Sharpie. If you do it this way, it lets you relax, right? It lets you relax when you start your drawing, and you don't have to worry. You don't have to be hard on yourself because it's just your start. And always remember that your pencil line, when you first start drawing, is just trying to figure out how big things are or where they go or anything like that. And that's why we draw lightly. I'm drawing a little darker so that you can see it in this video, but you should draw as light as you can so that you can erase whatever you want without a lot of work. Sometimes touching your drawing helps. Like if you're trying to figure out a little detail to make it better, you can actually take your finger and trace the image with your finger. When I was in elementary school, we had an art lesson about how to draw dolphins. And they told us that if we traced the shape of a dolphin 3 times, our dolphins would come out awesome. And you know what? They actually did. They came out better. So if you're ever stuck on something, just go over it with your finger and do it a few times. You may not exactly know how to draw this image, right? But when your finger traces it, your brain knows how to draw it. And trust in that. When you're doing something like this that is kind of comic book style or a manga style, right? So it's anime is what we normally call it, but when it's in a print form, it's manga or manga. Basically, that's Japanese comic books. And when it's in a cartoon on television, it's anime. So she is a comic book style, right? So just a few colors and black. And that means the lines on her are really important, and the light and dark is really important. So you can see right here that I'm not copying the pencil lines. I'm making the headband a little bit better. So totally do that. Every step of your drawing, make it better. But don't exhaust yourself. Don't make yourself tired. You want to still have fun. All right, I'm going to speed up the rest of the video. You know how to do it. And one thing you can do also for the fine lines in the hair, or even when you outline the eyes or add detail inside the eyebrows, you can get a skinnier marker or just use a black pencil or even a pen. Right now I'm showing you how different my marker line is compared to my pencil line. All right, so I'm going to speed everything up. I wish I could draw this fast. So when I'm adding in her dress, you'll notice that the white line on her dress is actually a negative shape. What's a negative shape? It's a shape that is just like the paper, or it's a shape that's just the space between something or the air. So the artist just left that blank. So you can try to do that too. Okay, I'm erasing everything, leaving just my finished lines. And then I'm going to grab my pencil and go back and put the iris. That's the color part of the eye. There you go. And some hair detail. All right, I'll see you in class. Bye, Avery.